All right, we've reached the point in our website development where we need to start thinking about the navigation. We want to make sure that it's easy to get around our site, but we also want to make sure that the navigation isn't completely overwhelming. So you may have noticed as you've gone about creating your site that the navigation is automatically built as you create each page, and it organizes it just alphabetically. So that may not exactly be what you want. You got to think about the flow of your website and kind of the order that you would expect or want to find things in. So I'm going to ask you to rearrange your navigation. Please keep in mind that from now on you're going to have to manually add pages to your navigation if you want them to show up. That's going to be very important later. So keep this tutorial in mind, come back to it as needed so that you remember how to add things or take things away from your navigation, okay? All right, so we're going to jump into this a little bit. The order that I'm going to require from you is over here, and some of these pages that I'm showing right now you haven't created yet. So you want your home page to always be first, then we're going to have your About Me or Teacher Info or whatever you've named that page come next. Those are two things that people are going to want to kind of consistently be able to find. Announcements will come next. Again, that's one of our general things that's going to everybody. And then your two class pages. So one right after the other should come here. We'll create these other pages later, okay? All right, so how do I actually go about doing that? From any page in your site, you can come up to this gear up in the top right corner, click on that, and then come down to Edit Site Layout. Okay, that's going to allow you to move some things around on your site as you desire to. So you have some options up here. You can turn off the header for your site if you for some reason wanted to. You can change to a horizontal navigation if you wanted to do that. That means your navigation will be across the top, which is kind of cool, instead of along the side. So if you want to play with that, please do so. I'm going to go ahead and just show you how to do this on the sidebar, but I do encourage you to look at the horizontal navigation. I actually prefer it as far as appearance go, and it's the more modern design style. So all right, so I've chosen sidebar navigation for good or for ill. And then I'm going to come over here and you'll see that my navigation, when I mouse over it, I get this little black banner on it, okay? So I'm going to click on that black banner and it's going to bring me in here to configure navigation. Now most likely you have this button clicked right here, automatically organize my navigation. And that's what's causing your pages to all come on there and all get organized alphabetically. All right, so we don't want that. We're going to click that so that then it starts to list the pages that we have available to us, okay? Now there are some pages we want showing, some pages we don't. So what we want to do here is show the pages that we actually want, take away some that we don't. And notice you can actually add links to outside pages here too if you wanted to make those part of your navigation. So if you wanted to add a link to the school website, for example, you could do that here. All right, so you can first of all click on pages and move them up or down using these arrows. Okay, if you bump them right or left, that means that they're going to become sub-pages of the pages they're under. So we don't want announcements to be a sub-page of About Me. That would look like this. That would be weird, so I'll bump it back out, right? All right, so I want you to put your pages in and put them in this order: Home, About Me, Announcements, and then your two classes that you've created. So you can go to Add Page. That's going to bring up your sitemap, or in other words, the entire list of classes that you have at your disposal. Okay? So notice I'm not showing, for example, each of the individual announcements that's under the Announcements page. That would be annoying to have in your navigation. You want to make sure you've got your home page. You want to make sure you have your main Announcements page, your About Me page. You want to make sure you have your two class pages. Okay, those are the big ones for now. Now notice that, see right here, if I click on this expansion, Spanish 1 Announcements, that page I created to do announcements for a specific class, I am actually not going to have that show up in my navigation. I think that's extra, it's not necessary, so I'm not going to add that page. So I just want you to be aware of that. So click through, choose the pages that you want to add to your navigation, and click OK. Or cancel in my case because I'm not adding any new pages. And then make sure you've got them in the order that you want them in. Okay? All right, you can include a link to a sitemap if you want students to be able to get to pages that aren't showing up on your navigation. You can also include a link to recent site activity. I don't like that because then students can see exactly what I've worked on recently, and I don't always want them to know that because I'm sneaky and stuff. So I'm just going to keep both of those unlinked for now. And again, this is the order I want them in. It's in your assignment description, so make sure that you get that. All these other pages that are scaring you right now will make sense later. All right, so I'm going to click OK. There's my navigation all the way I want it. Now an important step here, come over to close. And then you should have this lovely navigation. Again, please pay attention right now. From now on, your pages that you create will not automatically show up in your navigation. You're going to have to go in and add them manually using the process I just showed you. So come back to this tutorial as needed.